Everyone says you're amazing now that you're clean. Only you know who the real ones are, 'cause you see.
Ah, yes, indeed. Some people remember that. That is Seal, of course, introducing our fifth global B1G1 Connect Plus. And wherever you are around the globe, we are so thrilled to have you here. This is Paul Dunn live in Singapore. In fact, just to prove it, let me see. I'll wave to you. There you go. That's me right here, right in the B1G1 office today. And let's see, it's a Wednesday where we are. I think it's pretty much the same where you are. And we're about 10 past 5 or so in the afternoon. And we can see lots of people joining us there, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Tell you what we better do, because we always say that we're going to do this in 35 minutes. So what I better do is make sure that we can do that by getting started. So let me do that by sharing my screen again. There you go. B1G1 Connect Plus Global. So around the globe, we are good to go. And of course, as with all good things, we have a little agenda as to what's happening. So we're going to be talking in a couple of seconds or so about the huge power of small. Got some really fascinating insights for you there. In fact, some thanks to some people joining us already from the United Kingdom. Then we are going to have two B1G1 partners, Kristen and Sarah, take 75 seconds to to inspire you with some of their ideas. So stay tuned for that. Then one thing you must stay tuned for is Masami's update. She has a fantastic one for you today. And then there is a B1G1 big surprise right at the end. Of course, I know what it is, but I can't tell you until we get to Masami. So wherever you are in the world as well, great to have you. You'll see there's a Q&A on your Zoom window at any time. Could be in the top left, could be in the bottom right, depending on your system. But go have a look, and at any time, just click into that Q&A if you want to get involved. And we would love you to get involved. In fact, do that right now. Why don't you just go on the Q&A, tell us where you are, and you might let us know that everything's coming through loud and clear as well. There you go. Where are you? And tell us that it's coming through loud and clear. Hopefully it is. So let's get started, and let's get started with a couple of observations on the huge power of small. Those of you who've seen us live know that we spend a lot of time talking about the power of small. But let me give you some interesting observations from around the world, as it turns out. Now, those of you who've seen us live know that one of the things we talk about is taking a look at your business in a different way. Notably, remembering that your business is simply a series of interconnected processes. And one of the things that we recommended that you do is look at each one of those processes through a different eye, if you will, or different perspective, the power of small, and ask yourself how you can add interesting little things in that completely change, even though they're quite tiny, completely change the customer experience and create what we call a connected moment. So let me give you some examples of that. This first one happened a couple of weeks ago when I was in the US. Someone checked me into a hotel. Let me show you what happened when I walked into the hotel. It's actually called the Even Hotel. It's in a place called Rockville, close to Washington. And the person who booked me in said, look, they've got more than 500 things on TripAdvisor. They have an average score of 4.9 or something like that. So I figured that we'd put you in there. And by the way, the reason it's called the Even Hotel is, surprise, surprise, they have no odd-numbered rooms. But take a look at the first thing that happens. When you walk in, you get the first hello of many, and then from there, and bear in mind, by the way, anyone who runs a hotel these days is, of course, in a disruptive environment because they're being disrupted by people like Airbnb and so on. So we need to be doing little tiny different things. So let's have a look at what happens, for example, when we get to reception. Now, notice that it's not the normal kind of reception desk, which is sort of in front of a wall where all of the backroom stuff is and so on and so forth. No, this is a beautiful little circular desk, and as you notice in just a second, people stand up behind it when people come in and so on. Look at the graphics. It kind of looks nice, doesn't it? And then as you move to this is a little tiny thing, actually pretty important. This is kind of like a work hub. This is what they call their business center, but it's not locked behind, locked doors, and you don't have to go and get a key. It's right there where you have your meals and so on, and beautifully equipped with Macs as well. By the way, the bedrooms are quite nice. Look at that. That's a typical bedroom. But see that orange mat right over on the left. That's interesting because each room has a yoga mat that you can roll out, and it has something up on the wall as well. That, not the, by the way, the young lady there was not in my room, but this is just something. And I didn't get to use those pulleys, but this is just a picture. And you can see the little bounce ball there and so on and so forth. How about this? Sometimes it's challenging to have a meeting in hotels. But these guys, you see those little buffet things there? Well, just right next to the TV, you'll see you pull down this little cupboard right here and this little thing here. And then you see a whiteboard complete with whiteboard markers, rubbers, and all that kind of stuff. And so you can kind of get your team together and have a little meeting there in your room. Pretty neat, isn't it? It's a little better than, oh, by the way, and what about this? Talking about being in a room, I wonder how many of us on the call wear glasses. If you do, I suspect you've had this situation where you get in the hotel in the morning, you go to the shower, and of course you're not wearing your glasses when you get to the shower, and then they have these tiny little bottles, and you've got to figure out which one is shampoo, which one is this. You can't figure it out, and usually you get to see them when you're already wet in the shower. So it then becomes a question of color. You're judging the right color. You are, or I am talking with you, having washed my hair several times in hotels in mouthwash. But in this particular hotel, have a look at what they do. They've got great big bottles. There we go, shampooing. Great big bottles. And I love the way they talk about them. They don't talk about them as shampoo and conditioner. And you see, they refreshing shampoo. That's a brilliant little power of small idea you may recall from the live sessions where we talk about how one word can change everything. And of course, in the morning, you use the energizing shower gel. And then in the evening, you use, presumably, the calming one. If you're like most people, anyway, I guess you could reverse that. So anyway, power of small coming through on every level here. My point about this is once you start this process, then it kind of flows through to everything in the business as well. Let me give you another example of that. And this example comes from someone who's on the call. Moira, so nice to have you on the call at Grow Seeds in the United Kingdom. Moira and Connor starting a brand new business up there selling seeds. Now, how did they get to do this? Well, this is, if you went to your B1G1 opening page right now, this is what you'd see. And this is what they did. But then they clicked on that little right arrow right there where I'm about to click. And let's see, if I click right there, then I zoom in a little bit. They saw this. It said the video below is the result of a chance conversation, and it's a conversation between myself and Adam Houlihan, where he talked about how you can add B1G1 into business processes and make a huge difference to those processes. So Moira was looking at that and thought, wow, what a good way, what a good idea. So have a look at what happens in Grow Seeds. Now, of course, in Grow Seeds, when you get the little packets of seeds, they have a wonderful little message on them, which is a B1G1 message. But what's really interesting, have a look at this. This is how they ask you for feedback. Let me just blow that up for a second. Obviously, where it says hello user, that would be someone's name in there, and a big hearty thank you and so on and so forth. And they mention that each seed packet has provided life-saving water for a week, and they're proud to be in B1G1. And Moira, we are proud to have you, by the way. And then look right in the middle. Can I ask you a little favor? And it talks about we're a small but passionate company on a mission to provide. By the way, you know exactly where that comes from. That comes from our last huge Power of Small, where we talked about the Truett Shirt Company, to provide our customers the very best products and services whilst integrating giving back into the core of what we do. And then it says to help, simply write a review below of whatever product it was you had. And then you just click the stars and whatever, and you write the review. And one of the things it said in that little little piece that I just rolled down was, and by the way, when you do, there's a surprise. Well, I wonder what the surprise is. Well, once you submit the review, and it's all fully automated, of course, you get this. A little note. Notice it doesn't say 10% off. There's a reason for that. So you notice the 8. You don't sort of notice the 10. But have a look. Thank you. We think you're fabulous. by giving us a review. We've made sure 5 children in Kenya get life-saving malaria treatment. And on top of that, we want to give you a little voucher to use the next time you shop. Thank you for being great. Moira, if there was an applause meter on the Zoom window, I think you'd be hearing applause from everybody around the world. This is just a fantastic, fantastic way of implementing B1G1 in the business through the power of small. So let's see where that takes us. And by the way, thank you. Oh, there you go. There, I blew it up for you, I guess I could say. So where does that take us? There you go. There's that memory thing there where you need to. That's a kind of like a review of what we just talked about. So that's the power of small for this particular Connect Plus. So now we are going to get to partner point, which means that a couple of people who are joining us this afternoon around the world are getting kind of, whoa, I wonder if it's me. I wonder if it's me, because they don't know which order we're going to go in. So let's see. Normally it's ladies first, isn't it? But we're going to change that today. There we go.
I'm the host now. I'm running the ship.
You are running the ship. Oh, now we can see you. Look at that. Very, very good. So,
Cool.
So, Kirsten, first of all, before your 75 seconds starts, tell us where you are and how long you've been in B1G1.
So I'm here in Brisbane in the Inspire CA building, and I've been a part of B1G1 since, I believe it would have been August.
It was. So in other words, not very long. And
Yeah.
you might want to tell us what you do. Again, your 75 seconds hasn't started yet. It is about to
Okay.
go. So
All right.
tell us what you do, or is your 75 seconds part of that anyway?
No, it's not actually part of it.
Okay, go.
Just tonight I'm going to ask for some help, but I'm a personal finance coach
Okay.
with my business, Next Gen Financial Services.
Next Gen Financial Services, and everybody's now kind of getting out of this and looking you up on Google, checking you out and all that kind of stuff. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, because Kirsten's going to hopefully click share screen and take us through. So our 75 seconds,
Yes.
Kirsten, is starting. You tell us.
What up?
Go, Kirsten. Okay. Oh, look at that. Brilliant first try at it, Kirsten. Well done. So off you go.
Okay, everyone. Tonight I'm just going to ask for your help. So a little bit about me. What I do and why I do what I do is I help people live their life on purpose and with financial independence. So I'm the founder of Next Gen Financial Services. I'm also known as, people call me Freddie. That's a story for another time. And what I do is I educate, empower and enable young Australians to actually reach financial independence. What is wealth? Well, to me, money is one of those things that you do need in this world. And it goes in line with health and relationships. So you need all three in order to have a life that you really live on purpose. Yeah. So I help people with the money part of things. But in Australia right now, what's happening is we are, even though we're the most prosperous in the world, we've got a lot of debt. And debt's one of these things that really put a spanner in the works for relationships and even health too, because people stress about health. They stress about getting into more debt. We love the Australian dream of owning property, but we've got to get the mortgage and stuff. So right now in Australia, $143 billion in personal debt.
Whoa.
And there's only 24 million people. And the strategy is not hard. You spend less than you earn. So what's really happening? The average mortgage debt in Australia as a proportion to property value has actually tripled over the past 25 years.
Oh my goodness, and you're going to solve this in the next 15 seconds. Be quick.
50 grand average debt for retirees. So my vision is to take $1 billion off Australia's personal debt space.
Okay.
And I need your help. So if there's anyone who's on this webinar that can give me some sort of media exposure, connect with me with businesses that are active with their employee benefits programs, or even help me leverage off LinkedIn to connect with people, then I'd love to hear from you. That's it. So you can connect
Oh,
with
don't tell me,
on those
Freddie
links.
chats. Kristen, that's great. And as you did go over a little bit, and Ashima's going to
Oh,
calculate, she's going to calculate how much extra you owe us. So
how much did I go over?
I'm not sure,
Wow.
but anyway, the guys know.
Okay.
But Kristen, you did very, very well. Big applause.
Thank
Love the clarity of your slides too. They're absolutely fantastic. Well done. And by the way, for those of you who wonder why we would be finding Kristen, is simply this, or Freddie, is simply this, that the people who join us in Partner Point, they get the 75 seconds, and I forget the number, but it's like a couple of dollars or something that they pay per person to get these messages out. If they go over, then what we do is we double the number, right? So some people come on and they double the number anyway, because they say, well, I want to give more anyway, so this is a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you listening to us would love to help Freddie, then you saw the thing, a bit light of Freddie chat, and we will of course put that up on the recording as well for you. Sarah is waiting down there, I think probably in Melbourne. So Kristen, if you just mute yourself just for a moment, you can come back. Sarah has unmuted herself. Well done, Sarah. Lovely to have you here. So you're a bit of a sort of a guru on this, aren't you? Because you've done this once before, and I think a lot of people remember it. It was really, really good. So over to you. Oh, I've got to give you hosting rights, haven't I? And all of that.
I don't need hosting rights, Paul.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm just me. You've just got me today.
Okay, and you've been in B1G1 about 18 months? No, 2 years.
Coming up for 2 years. It'll be 2 years in January.
Wow, happy anniversary. It's been a lovely journey having you here as well, and seeing what's been happening for you as a result. So great to have you.
Thank you. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. There's 75 seconds. Hang on a second. Oh, we've got to stop that one because that's Freddie and this is you. Go.
Okay, well, look, I meet lots of entrepreneurs who have found the secret to business success, but they're struggling inside themselves. Some of them have energy levels dropping, or they have health problems. Some of them have real problems now connecting with their partner or even with their kids. And quite a lot of them actually have a feeling that like life was supposed to be better than this. And maybe they're wondering what it's all about. You probably know it usually hits in the mid to late 40s. And with successful people, you very, very rarely see it on the outside. But on the inside, there's a completely different story going on, and it can be extremely lonely, very desperate place. So I'm a coach and a trainer. I specialize in helping people discover their innate superpowers, which might seem completely irrelevant. But the beauty of it is that it takes you to a new level to develop superpowers. And the problems of the lower level actually start to drop away naturally, far more easily than you would imagine. So it's kind of like an easy way to solve horrendous problems. So if you have a community of people who might be struggling with this, and you'd like to entertain them with a webinar or a keynote about superpowers, but underneath actually show them that there is a way forward from the terrible internal struggle, I'd love to connect with you. So my email is sarah@sarahmccrum.com. Sarah with an H, McCrum is MCCRUM. And I will let you know about your personal superpower if you want as well.
Wow, personal superpower.
I have a special technique to discover your superpower. So that's my surprise.
Oh, a big surprise for you. Okay, well, you did very well, Sarah. And I should let people know too that both with Kristen and with Sarah, I've had personal experience of both of these people, and I know that there are other people within B1G1 who've had massive personal experience with these guys in terms of the help that they've been. So if you want to connect him with Sarah or Kristen, then you know how to do that, and we'll put that up on the recording as well. Sarah, big thank you to you, and a big thank you to as well. No, thank you. That was really awesome. And if you can see, I'm not sure what you can see, because I can see all sorts of things on my screen, and on my screen I can see sitting right next to me, and that's kind of interesting because she actually is sitting right next to me, a lady that many of you know, but I'm going to give her sort of like a big introduction here. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is. It's something I know that people join Connect Plus for, the opportunity to take time with B1G1 founder Masami Sato, and she's got two things for you today. One is the update, which, and again, it's probably a good idea to get your notepads out because there's going to be all sorts of stuff coming up here. So Masami is sitting right over there, and so I'm going to mute my microphone, and Masami, you're going to unmute yours and probably go to screen share and all sorts of things.
Okay, so first of all, the B1G1 update. So in the last couple of updates, we've been talking about the new B1G1 system, and we've been receiving many comments of excitement from everybody, and they're all asking, so when is it? When is it being launched? So today, I'm going to give you a little bit of overview of about what's happening. So first of all, we will be launching our system sometime between end of November to early December. The specific time of the launch will be announced soon. So what's happening is from November onward, we will be counting down to the actual launch. And then when we first launch, we will be launching all of the main giving features. So it means the new project listing to creating giving story to so on, like all those things will be there. But then we will be holding back some exciting new features to the second stage. So then in December, just before the Christmas season, we will be launching new engagement features. So this is something you can use to invite others to get involved and create great giving impact together in the giving season. And then early next year, we will be launching more exciting features such as goal setting features. So you could incorporate your giving goals in the new year as well. So then during the last call, you might remember that we were asking some questions about your experience in B1G1 and what you want, how you wanted to give with B1G1. So these are actually your answers to this question. So the majority of you actually enjoyed, linking the giving activities with your giving business activities, such as creating giving stories and so on, and then supporting like same project long term and finding out the impact, or creating many different kind of impact and so on. So the top 3 items that is highlighted there. So those features, all of the features that's going to enhance these experiences. That's going to be launched with the initial launch. And then the bottom 2 items, so these will be, these kind of experiences will be enhanced with the secondary features that we launch in December. Then automating giving, this part, we are exploring new ways to improve this element next year onward. So if you had any ideas or suggestions for any of these things, then do contact us and then let us know as well. So now that lead us to the special surprise that Paul mentioned. So let me just share something else. I hope you can see this big 100 million impact celebration. So, so right now we are doing about 68 million giving impact, and so sometime next year we are aiming to hit 100 million impact. This will be an ambitious goal, but we think we can achieve it if we all come together and then come up with many great ways to hit this goal together. So to celebrate this special milestone, we don't want to wait until we are nearly there and said, oh my gosh, we are nearly 100 million. What should we do to celebrate it with you? So now we are planning a very special way to celebrate this special milestone with you, physically together. So this is the very first conference we are creating, called the Business for Good conference. And so let me just give you an overview. So why do we do this? Because we want to connect better, and then also we want to help each other's business by getting together, bringing insight and ideas together, and then also increase our collective giving impact and to celebrate achievement. And who would be part of this? So that's you, B1G1 members and partners. Your team and family members can come to, and your friends, people who may be interested in joining, being part of B1G1 might come. And then B1G1 World Cause representatives, they may be there as well. So what will we be doing during this conference? We will be having high-value business sessions, many different activities, competitions, and so on, opportunity exchange, business matching, mastermind groups, B1G1 project showcase, award presentations, video interview booth where we will have a special interviews with you to create great video footages, and giving implementation ideas, examples, optional project visit within Bali, because it's going to be Bali, I'm going to talk about it next. Fun family activities for everybody. So if you bring your children, your partner, then they will have things to do together or individually. And now, next, the question is where and when. The location is going to be Bali at a resort called the Pan Pacific. The reason why it's Bali is because this is the birthplace of B1G1 actually. And this resort was the actual location for that. So we would love to invite you to all come together at the actual birthplace of B1G1 to celebrate this special milestone. The date we are planning is from Saturday, the 2nd of July to 5th of July, Tuesday, 2016. So if you are keen to come, then please do make sure you block out your schedule to be there. And the conference cost right now, this is just an idea because we are trying to bring down the cost as low as possible, and just to, currently talking with the hotels and so on. So we will give you a more specific information soon. And how to secure your place. So first of all, right now, we are asking you to express your interest by visiting this special page. And then we will be asking you a few questions as well. So please do this now so that we can together create a great conference. The next thing is, in addition to being a participant for this conference, there are other opportunities as well. So first of all, you could volunteer. So there are certain roles that are open. And then also, we may be offering special gift or discount for the volunteers, supporters. Another thing is, what about speakers? So we already have quite a few people who volunteered to be a speaker for the conference too. But if we are to select like a main key speaker, keynote speaker for this conference, we can all think about who would be the best person, and we would love you to tell us who you want to see on stage during this conference. So some ideas, like there are key figures that might relate more specifically with the concept of giving or purpose or social business or great innovation and so on. So you can think about that too. And then other supporters could be sponsors to do certain, like together organize certain elements of conference. You can also advertise or also distribute a gift from your business as well. So we will be asking you a few questions around that with that special form. So again, this is the link for you to go and express your interest for the conference. Then we will be sending you a very special link, early bird launch code. So please do that early, and then also make sure that you book your schedule as well. So thank you. That's the update from B1G1.
What a wonderful thing. So that's bit.ly, bit.ly /100 B1G1. And make sure that the B1G1 is in capitals because it's very important that you do that. So this has been our 5th global Connect Plus, and we've done wonderfully. Well, look at that. We've gotten right on time, awesomely on time. So thank you, Kristen, for doing your bit to do that. Thank you, Sarah, for doing your bit. Masami, thank you for your bit. Wow, you covered so much. And by the way, did you see some of those little things that are coming, like goal setting and stuff like that? well. And of course, because we're here in B1G1, we get to see all the testing that's going on. And I can tell you, it is going to be quite remarkable. And talking of remarkable, I always think it's remarkable that we can just connect on our machines and kind of connect right around the world. So thank you so much for doing that on this B1G1 Connect Plus. We, as you can tell, have a ball connecting with you. Hope that's a mutual feeling as well. For now, get in on the chat, by the way. If there's anything you want to add, we'll keep it open for a little while or on the Q&A. But for now, from all of us to all of you, thank you for being here on B1G1 Connect Plus. And of course, thank you for being a part of B1G1. We love you being here. Bye. Bye-bye.